It's Blake's Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. More, hate less, read comics. It's Blake's Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
Hey, 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 buzz, buzz, babies! It's Wednesday night. We're live. I think everything's working. Let's talk about some comics. But before we do, we have just a little bit of housekeeping that we have to do because there's housekeeping things now. This is the introductory segment where we're going to read ads because I'm rolling in the fucking dough now. I'm just kidding. But we do have sponsorships and we do have to we have to highlight those sponsorships. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up this little guy here. And then we're going to read this little ad. I've never really done this before, so that's why it's awkward as fuck, and it'll get better every week, but the projects are cool, and that's all that matters. Welcome to Omega City, where superheroes are publicly funded, and saving the day means big sponsorships and bigger payouts. The city's greatest champion, its hero, is a raging egomaniac who cares about nothing but himself and his precious Q score. But when he loses his powers to 10-year-old fanboy Hero, he is forced to reconcile all of his past selfish deeds. Heroes will fall, heroes will rise, and the world will never be the same. From Keen Spot Publishing, writer Jeff McClellan and artist Michael Gecko Adams comes the premiere of Hero, which drops in shops on July 23rd. This is amazing fun for any age comic book nerd. See if your shops can still snag you a copy. If not, you can pre-order directly from Keen Spot. The link is in the description. And if you'd like more information, you can head over to geckoadams.com to keep up with all the amazing things Michael is doing in comics. That sounds like a really cool book. It is. I actually read it. It's fun. It's super funny. He is the biggest hilarious. He's a huge prick, this Hero. Not Michael Adams. He's amazing. But this Hero is he's such a dick, and it's funny and it's charming, and I can't wait to see where they go with it. So yeah, that's that. We did an ad read. Look at that. Look at us. We're growing up. We're growing up over here at Blake's Buzz, folks. And so yeah, Now's the meat. Now is what you're here for, right? The meat and the potatoes. Speaking of meat, I smoked a meatloaf earlier, and it's really good. But I'm burping up meatloaf. I'm really glad you guys can't smell it. I mean, it smelled good when it came. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Let's bring out some cool guests, shall we? Let's get ready. Let's get my fingers ready. It would be so cool to have a producer. I got buttons over here. I got buttons over here. I got sound effects and shit. God, the stuff I do for you wonderful people. I hope you all really appreciate it. Anyway, I know you do. I love you and I appreciate you. All right, here we go. You guys ready? All right. One of the minds behind a new and hot indie collective, Rolling Squid Bones, and the creator and author of Set the Hook, we've got in the studio, Mr. Chad Perkins. What is up, sir?
Oh my God! Hello.
How's it going?
Good. I was not expecting such a loud and very powerful introduction from you. Thank you. Ooh, you got me sweating and pumped. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I do. I like to scream and get loud and get moist myself here. That's what we're here to do. We're moist for comics. Here at Blake's Buzz.
Rubbing my nipples already. Yeah.
Action figures falling off the wall. Everybody's getting excited. Chad, yeah. I am so stoked to talk to you tonight. I think you guys are doing some really cool stuff over there, and you showed me a handful of really cool books. That's super exciting. Need to, of course, the one that you're in part of, Set the Hook. I'm really excited to talk about your relationship with fish later, because I feel like you may not like them that much, and I want to know why, and we're going to dive deep into that. There may not be a reason at all, and that's fine too, but it was a fun book, and I'm excited, and I love how there's a lot of manga vibes you guys are bringing. So I'm very, very, very stoked to talk more about that. But real quick, we got a couple more people. We gotta bring out this next guest. He's also a very, very cool, talented, radical person. He does some kind of magic over at Oni, not quite sure. He's a stellar artist and storyteller, and he's here to freshen up the haunted house genre with Haunted House, a love story. Let's bring him out, Mr. Winston Gambro, straight from the closet of magic and I don't know another M word. Damn it.
Thank you for having me, Blake.
He's coming from the podcast of the podcasting closet of wonders. Hey, sometimes you got to do a studio. My family is hearing me scream my ass off right now. The dogs are barking in the background. I wish I had a closet to hide in, baby. How you doing, Winston? What's up?
I'm doing quite well, especially with that introduction. Thank you, Blake.
The last time Winston was on, which was his first time on the show, we were, I believe, 10 minutes late. I had just got my new Roadcaster. I had like all this new gear. I was like sitting pretty. I was feeling like a hot, fresh, just studly podcaster, and everything fucking quit. I mean, 2 minutes before everybody's like, Blake, we can barely hear you. And then my computer was like, fuck you, bro. And it was something with the Rode software. I had to re-download the drivers. Easy fix. But when you're supposed to go live and you have to download drivers, restart your machine. Anyway, we're already running better than that. So hey, thanks for giving me another shot.
Easy to clear it.
I am. You let me read your phenomenal graphic novel, and oh my, I love horror, and I'm deep in it right now. Like, we started this horror book club, and it's just I'm not complaining. Right? I've just been like encumbered with great horror, and you are now a part of that. I loved reading every page of this. It was phenomenal. You fucking made me cry in the end. I'm so excited to talk more about it. But you guys know I'll ramble, and we still have somebody sitting in the back. So we got to bring out this last guest, but certainly not least. Let's see, he's finally been here before, and you may have seen his art over at Boom or IDW or on a plethora of wondrous comics he's brought to life on Kickstarter. He's a great nerd, an awesome musician, and one of my favorite artists. I just knocked the light over, Mr. Shawn Daley. Woo!
Great musician.
What's up?
That was nice of you. Great musician.
Great, yeah, yeah.
I don't hear that very often.
I was so I totally kicked the light over under my desk. It's technical difficulties. We got to do them. We got to make them happen.
We're doing it live.
You know, I kind of dig this like shadow vibe though. I'm not complaining. Anyway, hey, Shawn. I got so excited I kicked the light over because I love your art so much.
I'll take it. That's only happened twice before. That's pretty sweet. Thank you. Yeah, what's happening?
Not a lot, man. Just hanging out with a bunch of talented indie creators here to celebrate the wild and wonderful world of indie fucking comics. It is wild and wonderful, and you know, I guess you're the last one to bring out, Shawn. So I guess we'll start with you. You know, a long time ago, you know, back before Blake's Buzz had video cameras, I interviewed you and Mr. Easton DeVerna, and you guys did a lot of cool stuff. I remember this is how I met Shawn. I got sent a press packet from a publisher that had this random trades in it, and one of them was Samurai Grandpa. And I read this fucking book, dude. This thing, like, I'm like I'm new into comic press. I'm like trying to hype every indie book that comes around, right? And it's impossible to do because there's so much. Anyway, this book blew me away. Your art style, it's so like it's like Chad, you would he's very like, he has like a manga flair, and like just he fits. Oh my god, he has this like manga flair in like Western sequential storytelling, and it's like this, it's wonderful, and he paints and he colors and all, and it's fucking stupid gorgeous. It's ridiculous.
That's cool that you got Samurai Grandpa first. I had no idea.
Yeah, dude. I stumbled across that and read it way before you guys came on and talked about the fantasy stuff you were working on together. So yeah, I got to stumble into that, and since then it's been a few years now, and you've brought back Sam. There's a sequel volume, but what started all of this, me being the long-winded host that I am, we'll get there eventually, right? But what started all this was Terraquill was kind of your first baby, and it didn't get. I remember like you posted the bad reviews, like you printed them, I think, in the book too, right?
Oh, yeah,
you printed out the bad reviews about like, you shouldn't be making comics or whatever, and you were like, nah, how about fuck you? I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. But But you did this beautiful you built this beautiful fantasy world, and you've come back to it a few times. And in my humble opinion, I think you're at a fucking your art is no, like you've always been super talented, right? But you've done some work at like some publishers, and you're just, I don't know, man, these new pages you're showing, they have something special in them, and I am so excited that it's coming from Terraquill. And so, but what happened? Like, what made you? Because you seem to be busy. Like, what made you want to come back to Terraquill at this time after all these years? I think the last time he was here, he printed these in a library, and there was only a few of them, and I got one. But so like the last time you were in Terraquill, you made a zine, and now you're like. You're back at the lab. You're painting it. It's big. It's big. It's beautiful.
I don't think that. I think that the best way to make comics is literally just to draw them, print them at the library, and staple them, and like sell them for a few bucks online. It doesn't matter what publishers I work with. I still always want to be doing that. That's still a really fun way to make comics, and it's accessible and it's affordable. It just like takes everything off the box, like every box off of. I don't know what makes comics fun for me, I guess. So like, why wouldn't I, just go back and do a little bit more of that. And it's this next round of like Terraquill stuff is going to be similar, but I'm going to actually get it printed at like a local printer, and they're going to, it won't just be like a stapled zine type thing. It's going to be a little, I don't know, a little sturdier than that, I guess.
Okay.
But still, I just want something that I can sell for a few bucks, ship for like $2 in letter mail, and get people comics. It doesn't have to be a big production. As much as I love that, there's still a place for that, and that's gonna still happen. But I don't know, something smaller for a change.
No, I dug it because it's very like I'm not like a punk, and I don't know like punk rock scene, but that's what that zine made me feel when you're like. You printed them in the library, you stapled them in the library, and then you sold the few of them that you had. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, you sold out fairly quickly. But like, there's some kind of like magic in that, man. Because not everybody can draw like you, right? That's you have
a lot of people can draw a lot better, in fact.
Well, that's subjective, but you have a great gift for storytelling. You're a solid writer, and like. So you can do all this yourself. It's interesting how you will go, with when you have the talent and where you are in your career, and I mean, you recently worked on Power Rangers, right? Like that's fucking hardcore. And to still want to like go back to like these, to like the zine, there's like this celebration of this like underground comic. Were like when you were younger, because there's like zine cons, there's this huge zine culture that I recently found out about that I didn't know a lot of. Like, were you a part of that? Were you like an underground comics weirdo?
No, I didn't start reading comics until I was in my early 20s, I think, and I started with like The Boys or like Watchmen or like Why the Last Man. So I missed out on that culture, but then the more I got into comics, I started attending like Canzine and all of these zine fests around the city here in Toronto where I live, and it was just like this epiphany where it was just like, wait, anyone can do this. Anyone. Like, has anyone here ever like done like a small like stapled comic before? Like,
no.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Okay.
I do. Like if anyone is familiar, Daniel Warren Johnson will sell like little Star Wars, Star Trek stuff, and that was a big inspiration. Like, kind of those small stories of familiar worlds, and I think it's a fun exercise. Like you can do more experimental art with it too.
Totally. Yeah. You can get away with like almost anything in that format, and yeah, it's just a ton of fun. It just and I mean, this should kind of always be secondary in a way, but it's cheaper. Like people can afford, $5 for something like that. And like I said, it ships letter mail, which here in Canada, it is impossible to ship. Like a trade paperback at a good rate. It is wild. But yeah, if you can put some in the mail for $3, hell yeah, why not?
Yeah, it does. And shipping just seems to get like more and more expensive. I mean, I think everybody's talking about they're about to like raise the price again or something, or who knows?
Right.
Who knows what's happening here? It's
have
crazy.
we all done like indie stuff? like everybody. So you've had to ship books then.
Oh yeah.
I guess. Yeah. So
Post
you
office
you all
hates me.
know.
Yeah, Chad,
Yeah.
Chad and Winston have been on Kickstarter a few times,
Excellent.
and doing stuff. Yeah, it's shipping's intense, especially like international shipping, and it makes no sense because it's not like you're that far away. It's like you're just like
it's a grift.
yeah, it's a invisible line that they can tax.
Totally.
But yeah, anyway, so you love this zine culture. It's interesting, because it's again the zine culture and like independent comics and everything about Terraquill is like it's very you, right? And it's like intimately yours, and it's and it could like no one's ever really touched anything on it other than you. I guess maybe like your editor, right? But in that sense, like Terraquill is kind of always going to be a zine, right? Like even if it has a cardstock cover, even if it's 120 pages that you paint, that's still going to have the vibe of the 5-page deal you stapled together in the library.
Yeah, I hope so. Like I certainly hope.
Yeah,
it does.
you didn't sell out and fuck it up, did you, Shawn?
Well, let's see how the Kickstarter campaign goes. We'll discuss after. But yeah, it'll always it doesn't matter if I put eventually I'll take all of these short stories that I'm doing and put them into a trade paperback, and that'll be its own thing. But for now, I'm just focused on these they're like manga size. They're 5 by 7.5, I think is.
Oh, cool.
Is roughly that sized. And I'm just gonna focus on those for a little while I'm working on like other published stuff. We all need something to I don't know, feed our souls, I guess. And you can get that at a publisher for sure. I've worked with the coolest editors and like the most amazing teams at Boom and with Dark Horse and IDW, and like they made the project so much better than any one of the creatives could on their own. And in addition to that, they were just amazing people, and it made the job fun. So you can totally get that at publishers, but there's something just different and unique about just kind of like sitting at your desk. You mentioned my editor on Terraquill. That's me as well.
Oh, really?
I don't. It's a one person show. I just don't. I don't know. I don't want the stress of being told that what I'm doing isn't great. I know it's not great. I don't need somebody to tell me that. Yeah, I know it's fine, even if it could be a little bit better in certain aspects. But it's kind of about forgoing that pressure and just letting it happen, like just letting it lay where it lies, kind of thing.
Nice. I love that, because when you read Terraquill, it's very calming. It's super chill. It's like, I mean, it gets you bring the heat like emotionally, and it gets you sometimes. But even then, like, once you hit the audience in the gut and you let that out, it's a refreshing experience, letting that out. And so it reminds me of like playing like the farm game that I almost flunked out of grad school playing.
Stardew Valley?
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of playing Stardew Valley. It's just like you get lost and it's calm and nothing matters. It's like smoking a cigarette that doesn't kill you. Oh my god.
I love that. I'm gonna put that in the next book. It's like smoking a cigarette that won't kill you. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. Now I do want to remind everybody there's links in the YouTube description and everything, and over on the Facebook page. Shawn's in pre-launch right now, so you can go and you can click the link. You can follow the campaign so that you can be there when it goes live. I don't want to like put you on the spot, but do you have a go live date? Do you know when you're gonna go, or are you still testing some stuff out? Or
July 18th. It's all ready to go. It's
all nice. That's my dad's birthday.
Hey, well, I got a great gift idea. That's
like, Dad, I haven't read a book in a real long time, but
happy birthday.
And it's not here yet, but it will be there.
Yeah, it'll be like, just hang around a little. He's 70,
Yeah. Excellent. Well, happy birthday, Blake's dad.
No, that's cool. That's exciting. Yeah, it's no, for real. Like, not just because. Also, the first time I talked to Shawn, like we had some Zoom hiccups, and I had to really learn how to edit that episode. And I used to like record them and then like edit all night to like get it out by like Wednesday, like our new comic book day. And I had a day job. And then I remember I was I was up to like 4:30. It was like 4:47 when I finally exported it and uploaded it, and it was like perfect. Like it literally felt like Easton was like, "Oh, I'll be right back," and he came back when it was really like, dude, we like Zoom crashed and we had to launch a new meeting and rejoin. Oh, it was fucking crazy. Anyway, I had to like stitch all that. Anyway, but it was like early Blake's Buzz, and it's cool. Like like all of you, like Easton's blown up and done a lot of stuff, and like you've blown up and done a lot of stuff, and I mean I've blown up and got fired after doing a lot of stuff, and like, it was just kind of cool. Like we all like did a lot of stuff in the comic industry. Now I'm back doing the same shit.
That's great. I think that's perfect. It's cyclical. It's a great start.
Yeah, I'm not. It's there's nothing bad with cyclical. Well, cyclical logic's not always great, but like the coming full circle, bringing things back. Speaking of bringing things back, we got some returning viewers saying hi. Sarah Landauer, what's up, Buzz? Happy to see you. K-pop oh my God, K-pop junkie is in the house. Cole posted a link to her YouTube. She's awesome. You guys should follow her. If this is an artist name, it is Magenta King. Holy shit, I'm famous. Oh, Magenta King watching my show. Holy shit, that's crazy. That guy draws cool stuff. Cole's talking about hot dogs. Oh, God, you guys always fucking talk about. Dude, is last week. If anybody's watching and was like, fuck you, Blake, for not showing our hot dog comments, and I laughed, but there was like real conversations about, agency and the world around us and storytelling. And it just was not an ideal time to, interrupt a trans artist and say, shout out to hot dogs and Ford Eco Boost. I appreciate it though. And it was funny, but I read the room. It's a skill that not a lot of people have anymore. And I did that. And so that's why that happened. Anyway, I do appreciate you, Cole. I love you. What's up? Fueled by Weird, Chris Daley is here. He's not related to Shawn Daley. They have a different last name. It's not like your lost son or something. Don't worry. It's
the Daily Show.
The what show?
The Daily Show.
Yes. Chris, change your show name, rebrand. I know you're about to hit 100 episodes, but
you'll get so many accidental clicks.
Yeah, it'll be great. That's an awesome idea. I recently got offered a not large sum of money to rebrand my whole show. I was like, no, we're not.
Why?
We're not.
Did someone want your name?
No, they wanted like me to do a show like run it like a newsroom kind of, and like do like and I was like, that's a lot of work. Like, have you I'm like, if you hire me and you're my client, I am organized and on it. But like for me, I book my show week to week. Like I don't ever know what's going on. Like it's just I can't just reformat shit in the middle. Chris says, oh wait, I showed it. He's doing it. He says he's done. He's gonna do it. He's LOL done. He's changing the name. The Fueled by Weird is now The Daily Show. Make sure to follow them on YouTube. He's doing a cool contest right now. If you follow him, he's giving away some cool 3D figures. One of them is a really cool like pizza monster. I kind of want it, but other people should enter. I feel weird. Like I don't like entering other people's contests unless you guys forget. Like if Shawn or Winston were giving away art, I'd enter that. I'd be like, oh fuck, I'll enter on all my accounts, all my alts, and like I'll enter everywhere. I'll cheat basically to win good art. Anyways, so yeah, Shawn, that's super exciting, and I really hope I hope you get some followers for your pre-launch, and I hope you have a better launch than my dad's birthday.
I guess me too. Like,
yeah. Wow, dude. You're supposed to be like, no way, man. Like, go your dad. This dude is selfish. Unfollow his campaign. I'm kidding. Don't listen to me. I'm mean. All right. Anyway, I'm excited, dude. So this is you said it's smaller stories. I forgot to ask, like, what's the page count? Is it like is it a one shot or?
Yeah, this is it's the first in 5 issues that I'm putting out.
Nice.
It's going to be 32 pages, black and white interior, 2 short stories, and there's going to be 5 of these in total that I release over the next year. And then once those are out, if shipping isn't $1 million, I'll do a trade. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of do these at my own leisure once every couple months. It's already written. I wrote these like 5 years ago and then got tied up with stuff. So it's already written. I just got to draw it, and that's the fun part. So yeah, that'll be out.
That's hell yeah. More stuff from you is always exciting, especially like I said, Terraquill and like Bridge Builders Creed was so. Oh my god, that was intense.
Oh, thank you.
God, it was intense. Anyway, so yeah, that's cool. What happened?
We've been EMP'd.
Yeah. That's wild. Every time I'm
What
on the
the
show.
So welcome to Winston's Buzz. Sean,
Hey.
so what's your Kickstarter about? What's the plot of this book?
Oh, this again? Yeah. Oh God. So I'm a short stories guy. I don't know if like have you guys ever dabbled in short stories? Like just stories like just
Yeah. Like those mini comics or something.
Yeah. Totally. Oh wow. Is everybody hearing everything?
What the fuck
Yes,
happened?
I do.
Blake, I'm so sorry. Every time I'm on,
Dude, I don't. So I don't know if anybody can hear me.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
You cannot hear me.
Million times over.
I can.
Oh.
I can.
The problem is we're all echoing.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear it now.
Yeah,
Here we
we're
go.
all
Um,
on LSD right now.
Jesus fucking
See a
Christ.
button that says echo cancellation.
Oh, I don't
can't
hear
hit
you
it.
anymore.
Oh yeah. Hey, it worked. We did it.
That seems alright. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. I don't know if you can hit it while.
Yeah,
While
so
we
it's
do
like can't
this.
while I'm recording, but
Yeah.
looks like it
Of course
got
not.
fixed.
That'd be too easy.
Some
You
cool
guys still
music.
hearing it? Because my audio's back on.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're back alive again.
I also hear music.
Yeah. There's some really nice or kind of haunting music.
There's haunting music?
Like
It's
I hear
not
a
you.
TV.
Huh.
I also hear it.
Oh yeah, there is it. That's totally TV.
Is there a TV
So my
on?
book is about a haunted house. Is this just really good marketing?
Can you
Yeah.
can you
Are
hear the
surprising
TV
me?
if I hit this button?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
it's
are you
not me.
watching?
It's not me. It's not, I don't know.
I don't have a TV going.
I don't know what's going on.
That's
Fuck.
wild. It's kind of cool, huh?
Let me. I don't have anything open. I don't have music playing. Huh.
Wild.
Weird.
How could that possibly?
I don't know. I don't hear music. I don't hear any. Okay. Well, guys, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. All right. So let's do. Let's hold on the chat. People are saying stuff in the chat. They're probably like, Jesus Christ, this guy's still on the air. All right. So let's. Who? Oh wow. I am discombobulated. All right. Let's go. Let's talk about rolling squid bones. You guys.
Hello. Whoa.
Too
You're
much?
very, very loud. Hang
I'm
on.
loud?
Yeah, hang on. Okay, there we go.
Okay. All right. So, what
Where
is
am
your role at Rolling Squid Bones, Chad?
I'm the founder. I'm the owner. I am the one who does all the publishing and all the printing and all of it. So I'm the face of it.
Oh, wow. So you're
I'm the
busy.
founder. Yes.
Because you
I'm very
guys just launched this recently, and you have. Okay, so you've got several titles already. You've got Age of Yokai.
Yep.
You have Clove Hitch. You
Yep.
got hooked up with Gerald. You've got the Immortal Coil, and you guys are working on something else too. I heard maybe.
Yep.
And then yours Set the Hook, and
Yep.
then you've got Tilney, and
Yes.
that's is that what's
David
what-
Dope.
what's next on your like release schedule? Like what's the next thing you guys are hyping to promote?
So far, right now, we're just focusing on. Currently, we're actually focusing on Immortal Coil, because Gerald is doing a lot for that, and he's actually kind of like fronting a lot of it, so I don't have to do a lot of putting it together. Because his thing was, I like putting stuff together and doing this, so I'll do this for you. I'm like, thank you. So we're working on that, and then I have 2 one-shots that Sean Megan is going to be releasing soon. Those are just getting done with lettering from Micah Myers.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, he actually reached back out because he did the lettering for Age of Yokai, and I guess Micah was available. I posted online, hey, who's a letter with a reasonable price? And then Micah was like, hey. And I'm like, oh, hey, Mike is available. And Shawn was like, okay, yeah, let's do him again.
I'm glad he's very nice and he does great work.
Oh, no.
I always assumed he would be expensive. Because he seems generally happy and he's pretty nice, and in my opinion money makes you those things. If you have enough of it, you're pretty nice and chill, and then if you get too much of it, you're an asshole and evil.
Sweet spot.
Yeah, you got to get just right in there. But yeah, I figured he was like Esposito, like just a little more pricey. But
no, shockingly, he's very reasonable.
Oh yeah! Now he's gonna get flooded. Like, oh, I heard you lettered a book for $5.
That's not what I said. I just said he was reasonable.
Oh my god!
I'm like, oh man, that's not a bad deal.
Like, I heard you were so cheap, Blake could afford you, and he can't afford anything. He can't even keep the power on in his live streams. Like,
oh my god! You know, I can't either. So. I can't afford your electric bill anymore, man. But Gerald actually has just given us 2 of his projects as well. So right after Immortal Coil, we're gonna dive right into 2 other titles. So I'm very excited with what he's currently working on. The project that he pitched to me. First off, the man's a lunatic. He doesn't stop working. He doesn't stop drawing, and I'm pretty sure he's not human. But the secret project he pitched to me is something that has never been done before on Kickstarter, and I am very interested in how it's going to play out.
Cool.
We're looking at a February launch for it, and Frank Martin's involved as well, I think.
Nice, I like Frank.
Just shows up, yeah, because he also does Immortal Coil as well. He's the co-writer.
I forget. I forget they work together. He's sneak because Frank's the same. Frank is prolific on Kickstarter, and he does almost everything solo. But he does several books a year too. And then he has like the art done already, and he prints and fulfills his campaign. He's fast. He's so fast. It's like he has a team, but he's by himself.
No, he's just one guy.
Yeah.
Who splits himself into 3 people.
He's 3 indie creators in a trench coat. Like
he is, yes. He is. He's stacked up on top of it. He's stacked up on top of each other. Which is very weird when they go to the theater.
Well,
they can get into rated R movies. They don't need to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's like, why? You're just seeking attention at this point.
Yeah, like at that point, you're just looking for it.
You're working with cool people, like with cool indie people that I've known for years, that a lot of that are connected and that people like in the indie scene, which is good for like a new imprint, right? But how did this come to be? How did this collective happen? Because I remember when like some of the art. The art house that sold a lot of comic stuff, like that kind of, when that went to shit, like some artists banded together to kind of do collectives, but I didn't really see like writers or like people coming together actually like producing comics, right? It was kind of first like curating like art and monetizing that. It wasn't really like a collective of creators like putting out publications. So like this is kind of fresh and interesting, and it's also a lot of work. So like, what made you want to, like, you're sacrificing a lot of time and resources and stuff to make this happen. So like, fill us in on how this journey began for you, bud.
So RSB, Rolling Squid Bones, started out as more of a joke back in like 2022. Between me, Blake Matthias, and another buddy of ours, who I'm not friends with anymore, and I wanted to do just a little imprint of just all of our stuff. So a webcomic, whatever I'm working on, and then whatever the other guy was working on. And we did it. It didn't really do anything because the other guy was not... Anyway, I won't get into the drama of it. Anyway, it started. And then about after the Action Lab situation that happened, I realized that I am so tired of getting screwed over by publishers. I will continue and I didn't learn because I gave a couple of my books like Sparkle Dog and Blue I gave to Marcosia, and that's been great. But I gave Sparkle Dog and then set the hook to a publisher, and then they both burned out. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm doing this on my own. I'm gonna turn Rolling Squid Bones into a actual little publisher. But I didn't originally want to pick up anybody. It wasn't until Chris Albright came to me and said, "Hey, I want to work with you." After I think we played D&D together, and he was like, "Hey, I want to work with you. What do you need me to do?" And I'm like, "Well, I guess you could help me with promoting and everything." And then as we started talking, I'm like, "Oh, you have a book. You have Clove Hitch. Let me take it." And he's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. It's not gonna make any money, but I could throw it up there." And we did, and then one thing led to another. Then Shawn came on board with Age of Yokai, and then he gave me 2 other projects, and then David Dube with Tilney kind of came out of nowhere. He reached out to me, and then after that, Gerald reached out to Chris for Mortal Coil, and then it just sort of all started happening. And then recently we signed with Critical Blast for distribution. So we're going to be going that route, and those are currently up on their website. And then we're going to start doing like in-store distribution as well. So it kind of all just started as a dumb little joke because I was tired of getting screwed over by publishers and other creators who want to do something, and I'm like, well, if you're not really gonna do it, I'm just gonna do it myself.
Dude, that's awesome. Like, for real.
Hey.
And it's a lot of work. Even when you have a team, right? You have a team of creators and you have some people helping you out. It's a lot of work. So, and that's really cool, man. And it's because there's a lot of. I was kind of rounding the bases with this with Shawn, and I didn't exactly get to it. But everybody tells you, like, if you want to make a comic, go make it, and that is good advice, right? It is, right? If you want to write. You are never going to be a great writer if you never write. Or if you only fucking ask ChatGPT to tell you a fucking story, right? And or and you're never, even if you can kind of draw, you're never gonna excel unless you practice and you keep drawing and you take some risks and some chances and play with your voice, not just stay with it forever, And so it's good advice, but it's also not soul advice, right? And sometimes when it's like, oh, you want to make a comic, well, just make it. Well, sometimes it's not that easy, and sometimes like making it yourself is like, oh, whoops, I accidentally started a boutique publishing house.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, because that's what we wanted to be. Is that we wanted to be this one publisher that like is really tiny, but we have good quality books. And we're kind of, actually, it's funny, I have joked with Chris many times where I do want to be the bougie one. So, we just started kind of doing this for promoting. We've started doing, like, Adult Swim type tactics where we just post, like, random pictures and videos and all kinds of other stuff. Like, at 3 a.m., there's just a video of the Steamboat Willie opening in the cartoon, and then it cuts right to the original Night of the Living Dead for 11 minutes. so it's just like this weird stuff. So we're just going wild with promoting, but we also want to be like the bougie kind of a publishing house where we're like, oh, well, we got into these weird guys' place. So, because I think weird comics are great. And to your point too, Blake, I always say that if you're terrible at drawing but you have a good story, you have something. So, but if you have a really bad story but like the best art, you're not gonna get anywhere.
Yep.
Like, if your story sucks, I'm sorry, your art's beautiful, but that's all I'm gonna be there for.
Yeah, you can only. I mean, you could put a variant cover, on a turd, but when you open that book, it's still a turd.
Exactly.
Now, one thing I noticed with the sampling you sent me is there's a lot of manga vibes, and a lot. It's even in the way you guys are lettering these books. They're lettered like manga. So they don't feel necessarily Western. I mean, they read normally, right? We're not reading the opposite way back, but like. Are you guys big manga fans? Like, I mean, the last couple of years, like, I got swept up in it. I've been getting back into anime. Like, I've talked to Shawn about it. Like, Shawn is super into like Dragon Ball Z and the Dragon Ball manga, and like they influenced his art from like a young age, and even now, like Shawn's even told me like he busts out a couple volumes of Dragon Ball every now and then, like when he needs like a serotonin boost or inspirational boost, So like, are you guys big manga nerds? Because it seems like what you're offering has a has that kind of feel, and I'm not complaining. I'm excited about it.
You know, I'm a big manga fan, and I know Chris reads a little. Actually, I don't think Chris knows anything about manga. I know Shawn reads some, but really, it was just kind of a coincidence. I'll tell you. Like we all of us have like the same lettering, kind of the same lettering manga style to each other, and also kind of the same art styles as well. But I always look for that at what makes everything unique. So when it comes to choosing books, so yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I love how serendipitous this all kind of is, right? Because I think good things happen that way. I'm a fucking heathen. I don't believe in like, I'm not spiritual and I don't believe in higher powers, but I'm also a dipshit who will be like, sometimes I like to think about my dead dogs all hanging out and playing together. And like, wait, dude, that you can't say one thing and be like, no, but the Rainbow Bridge is real and aliens. But I can say that because it's my show. But yeah, you know, like I'm not. I believe in I do believe in some power of fate and serendipity, and you know, things do kind of fall together sometimes, right? And instead of being like, like that's, you know, we don't do manga, we do comic, but you know, you're like, no, like let's do this, and then you this promotion, your promo guy has a comic, oh, bring that in, and it's just how this kind of is all falling together and turning into this bigger thing. You know, happy accidents are a thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's, but you're also seeing the happy accident comes with a lot of happy responsibilities. But you're obviously like, you're into it, right? It's this is something you want to work for, you want to fight for. I'm assuming you got like day job and stuff too, so you're having to like balance this all out and figure shit out. And
yeah, my day job's pretty relaxed.
Nice.
So I do have quite a bit of time to be able to work on it. But yeah, it is funny you mentioned that because yes, if you are working with us on something, I will be like, oh, you got a comic? Well, why don't, you know, you can put it onto us. The other thing that I offer is Critical Blast does offer manga sizes. So I do have Age of Yokai as a manga.
Okay.
As an option, and then I'm gonna set the hook once all 4 issues come to that. I'm gonna be releasing that as a manga volume as well.
Hell yeah.
So, and then I have a couple of other sales stuff that I offer when it comes to signing on too. So that I don't think any other publisher does, but if they do, then then I'm wrong. So, yeah.
Hey, as long as you're trying to not screw people out of their stories, you know, which doesn't sound like you're trying to do at all. You know, I think it did kind of break my heart though when you were like, this all started like when Action Lab was going down, and now you're starting again, and fucking comic distributing is crumbling. Like you keep trying to like launch shit in the depths of comic book distribution.
Well, I'm just gonna do distribution by myself. Like I'm not dealing with any other like
Nice.
Critical Blast is great because they do all the printing and they do the ISBN numbers and all that stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm just gonna send out a catalog myself and just email people, and why can't I just do that instead of signing on with the publisher and taking that plunge or that distributor where I don't know what the hell's gonna happen. Like Massive, I like what they're doing. I think it's way too expensive just because I don't have a bunch of money.
I've heard a lot of people get really into Massive and then have meetings and they're like, fuck, I can't afford it. No, that's I've heard that from a lot of people, so that kind of sounds like a bummer. But yeah, I don't. Everything in indie everything's just everything's so expensive. Even if you don't print anything, even if you're like, hey, let's do an all digital campaign, you're still paying art, and if you get good art, that's expensive, you know. And unless you're Shawn, you just do it all by yourself. But we don't talk. You know, that's not fair. So we're not going to talk about him.
There was a kid. There's this kid who did a duck book, all in Sharpie, and like marker, and he was like a 8-year-old boy, and he launched it on a Kickstarter. So if he can do it with marker art, why can't you?
I was really expecting that to end with, and he made $3 million.
I thought it was going to end with, and then we found out it was AI, and then and it also made $3 million.
But we like being more grassroots with everything.
I dig that.
We like trying to be raw with everything. Like we're just doing everything on our own and seeing what happens.
Can I, since we're on this, have you used Global Comics at all?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is that a yes or a yes?
sure, buddy.
Okay, gotcha.
It'll
Perfect
get you. It'll get you
answer.
reads.
It'll
It'll,
get
you,
you reads.
it's. I've
Yeah.
heard it's impossible to monetize. Like even if you're like
Yes.
even if you're getting views where you're like,
Yeah.
holy fuck, people are reading my comic, but it
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
generate really anything.
I haven't tried it, but I'm curious to hear what people who have used
actually
it think.
I do better. We do better on drive-through.
Cool. Okay.
I mean, it's just kind of a slow, steady climb with it, but we've seen more profit in drive-through than I've seen. And granted, it's not like a huge bunch of a ton of money or anything, but $1 compared to 8 cents is still
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, and drive-through is good
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, no, they're great.
I used to they gave me like a Blake's Buzz promo code like way back in the day, and then gave me like $100 to buy comics and mess around in their store. But what's cool, you get to, I believe it's still the same. It's DRM free, but it puts your username on it, right? So like my username was Blake's Buzz. So like if like you buy a comic and then all of a sudden like everybody's reading it and it's getting passed around, it'll say Blake's Buzz like in the margin, not in the art or anything. So like they set it up to where you can be shamed and caught if you get caught like sharing. But yeah, you get to like download the PDF and put it on your Google Drive or do whatever you want with it. And I always liked that about drive-through because like
it's all
I
the
think
same.
we've all bought digital shit that's all wait, all of a sudden it's nowhere anymore, even though I spent $20 on that back in the day or whatever, right? Like they can just take shit from you. They can't take those PDFs though. Like you get those, you can lose them or accidentally delete them, but they can't take them from you. So yeah, drive-throughs are good people. I would, if you're looking for that, Shawn, I don't know a lot about Global other than their new app is nice, but like I do know like the people at drive-through are chill and they have a cool outlet.
And I know the guy, what was his name? Chris Norp was the guy who made
It's Chris.
Global.
Yeah, I don't know the
and
last name.
I remember when he first started and we were talking and everything, and he's a great guy, but I feel like it kind of lost its way of what it was supposed to be. And also, I think drive-thru's gonna start doing more like print stuff as well.
Nice.
Because I did see something about that, and they've been overhauling their whole system. Now, granted, when you log into it, it's all like their interface in the back is very it's old.
Yeah.
But it's functional, and then once you kind of get used to it, it's easy. But when you first look at it, you're like, oh my god, this looks horrible. And
Yeah, it looks like an old site, but it does the trick. But yeah, I have heard that about like for when people put their stuff on Global, like well, I was working with Stephen Prince for a while who does Monster Matador, and like we put the issue 1 or we put the first arc on Global, and then tried to like read the first arc, and then you can buy the other, and it just it's hard to get people to buy stuff, and then I don't know how the subscription fee works and stuff behind I don't know how any of that works, so
it's even worse. So.
nice.
Don't even.
I'm glad I asked about this.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
There goes that Global Comic sponsorship we were going for.
Right. So.
Dude, use the Blake's Buzz code to get 10% off your monthly dollars. I'm not sponsored by that.
I would do that.
I'm just joking.
That'd be great. We rip them apart and be like, and this is sponsored by.
Yeah, you want it cheap? Get it cheap.
Get it cheaper.
That happened to me a couple years ago at Planet Comic Con, sorta. IDW like worked with me. Like the editors at IDW got me time with Jason Aaron and had to like set up everything, and so like I got to, like he knew, like I just had to find him at the con, but like the deal was clear, and I got like 20 minutes with him and in person. It was dope, and like, but I also interviewed Ben Templesmith because he was there, and so I had this great interview, and he was funny and he was laughing, but he was just ripping IDW apart. They stole from me, they're thieves, and I'm like, oh man, I can't air this for a while, because I was like, I gotta, because like IDW was like, all right, we'll get you time with Jason, and then you post it on Monday, and like we'll share, like, so they like, we scheduled like when I would premiere it and stuff. And so I was like, I gotta like wait to drop this Ben Temples, because I can't drop this Ben interview where he's like, fuck IDW, and then be like, hey, thanks IDW for setting up this time. So anyway, yeah, it's weird stuff can happen, but you know what? Publishers should treat their people better, because usually when people talk shit, they got a reason. That's all I'll say about that. All right, we're not here to shit on publishers, or we can though. Whatever gets the clicks.
You can shit on mine all day. You would be like, listen, we don't know what we're doing, and we're throwing stuff at the wall. We're like being experimental with everything. One of the things I do offer when it comes to taking care of people is I offer a quid pro quo. So basically what that is that when you sign on, you get access to everybody else's books as long as you pay for printing, and you can sell them at conventions. You can also take them to any of your local comic book shops and put them in there as well.
That's cool.
So that's one of the things that I'm kicking off, and so far that's been a pretty good like selling point with everybody. I pitched it to them, and of course it's optional; like you don't have to participate in it. But it is helpful, especially if you're smaller and you have only one book and you're going to a con. It's like, hey, you can load up your table and everything.
Yeah, no, you could give them like a whole table of books
Right.
to buy. You can make a display now and put like a rolling Squid banner. Right? No, that's smart. That's I like that.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's
Hell
great
yeah,
color.
man.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Making cool comics, treating your people well, trying shit,
Right.
throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks. I like that's indie. That's about as indie as you can get, baby. Other than like stapling shit together at a library, you know, like with it. It's not you're on the two sides of the train tracks. I love it.
He's like, Shawn, I need 100 more of that stapled book. Get to it.
I got 1,000 staples, so I got.
I really don't consider it indie unless you make your own paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I know people who are very like actually like that, and you know that's fine. That's fine. That's
I mean, if
totally
they
a
have fun
thing.
doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
fun.
Go for it.
God, I could not imagine having that be what you have fun doing though. What'd you do today? I made a whole bunch of paper to draw on.
I mean,
Great.
that sounds kind of cool.
Great,
that
bud.
sounds
I mean-
kind of neat.
I mean, I've made mead, and that was fun.
Yeah.
I
Totally. Yeah.
like, making stuff can be fun, especially.
That's
if
true.
you get
I make
your hands-
cheeseburgers a lot instead of going to buy cheeseburgers.
See, there you go.
Yeah,
That's
that
fun.
counts.
So I guess if you're eating the paper, you should make it. No.
Right.
No.
Right.
Winston, I'm sorry. I always feel bad about the last person, but I will point out that everybody has told me that they missed the forum part of my show, even when I started doing because I would do like 2 or 3 shows a week to just feature one project, and then everybody was like, "No, but we met all these great people." You just can't keep indie people happy. I'm kidding. I love everybody.
Yeah, so
but
whiny.
I just
That's
I
not
always
fair
feel
words.
bad about like the last person that goes because you just sort of like sitting there. You're like, I have a comic too.
My first name starts with a W. I get it. Like,
So you're-
alphabetically, it's always been a nightmare.
Well, so right now, you can go to Kickstarter, and the link, as I mentioned, is in the description, and you can check out an amazing campaign that Winston is doing right now.
LCS.
It is, dude, it's so creepy and heartfelt and strange. It's about a haunted house that falls in love with its inhabitants, and as you would imagine, the inhabitants are going to live a lot less longer than the house, which presents some wildly intriguing circumstances. Winston, I'm sure you can pitch this thing better than I can. Hit us with your con table pitch and tell us where this wild ass idea came from, because I feel like the haunted house narrative has just been like slapped in the face by the mic of Winston Gambro. Like,
So it's called Haunted House: A Love Story. It was a 6-issue miniseries. Now is one graphic novel. It's about a house that falls in love with the person living in it. When that person finds romance with someone else, the house gets jealous and seeks vengeance. And from there's a ripple effect that causes traumatic events for every other resident of the house for the next dozen years.
I love the time. I love how time just smoothly carries on, and that like the new characters come in, but you do a really good job of like making those scenes move quickly, but making the reader feel the length of time that the house has been alive, right? Like, you know, it's just like it's like one part of the narrative moves fairly quickly, and then this other part like meanders through pain and sadness. It's fucking insane. Like you are insane. It's wild. Like when I read about it and saw some of the art, I was like, okay, because I love Winston's art anyway. He did a crazy like UFO alien book a while back when I had him on my show, and the last time my show shut down in the middle of it. But like,
Last time you did.
but you know, I've loved your art for a long time. This is more colorful. I love when the house gets mad, and when you go into like the darker colors and the reds, or even like the darker blues and purples at times, or you sometimes like kind of contrast the page with both. I don't know. You doing some trippy shit with color, and like the how you kind of like see through the floors and see them maneuvering through the house. Like, this is a different kind of story, and I feel like you were kind of playing around with some art trickery while telling it too. Like, was this just a game of like experimental madness? Like, because you take a lot of risks that pay off. I think every single one pays off. I can't think of a moment I could tell you to do better, right? But you know, like, because like I think everybody gets a haunted house idea, right? But nothing like this, dude. This is crazy.
I was watching a haunted house show, and like a ghost showed up, and I just randomly had the thought, what if it's not a ghost? What if it's not a person that lived here? What if it's the house trying to communicate? And kind of spun off to what else would the house be feeling? What if the house liked someone? What if the house fell in love with someone? And then art-wise, yeah, I try and kind of mix it up with every book. Like, my last book was all aliens, so it's supposed to look like grainy black and white UFO footage, and this one I wanted to just kind of make everything unsettling. So I put like a watercolor texture over everything. All the shadows aren't like photo accurate, like there'll be purple shadows or green shadows. There'll just be weird patterns everywhere, and it's just to kind of make you feel as unsettled as you would be if you were actually in a haunted environment.
It works. It really does. Like, you know, you did. I think everybody here is like color controls the vibe, right? And you really do. Like, it's so creepy, and it's claustrophobic at times, you know, and it's weird, like, when you feel trapped in the narrative as well. You know, like, you're doing something really well there when that pays off. And I felt that a few times, like when the house lashes out, and also just how human the house is, right? How like angry it gets, and then the guilt at being that angry, and then even when it's like, fuck it, I deserve to be angry, and then it's like, oh, but you're better than this, and it's like, wow, dude, like, this house is going through it, and you as a reader are like you're pulling shit out of like the depths and like playing with heartstrings and stuff during, you know, and it's just like it was kind of a lot every now and then, and it was weird. I was like, I want to be scared, Winston. I don't want to fucking think about this stuff right now. But even that was kind of, you know, like, not terrifying, and like the, you know, empathy is bad and emotions are, you know, but like, you know, just like how you don't know that stuff in my past, and you don't know how I was feeling that day, and that book could still rile some shit up, right? And I know for a fact that I'm not the only reader that's going to experience that, because I feel like some of that was designed, you know, like the way the house was designed, the way the plot was designed, the way the structure was designed, was all to unsettle your readers. You're just a fucking evil little maniac. What are you
Oh man, I didn't know you could tell I was little from the camera.
I'm big, so everybody's little.
I'm looking at the artwork right now, and it's gorgeous, by the way.
Isn't he good, Shawn? He's so good. Yeah. The covers too are nuts. Like, I love that you like have this OGN, but it's like, goddamn, you have like the most beautiful covers for this. Can you get, like, if they want to get the cover set, can you still get one, or do you only have like trades to offer now?
I personally just have trades, but the single issues might be at your LCS. Like, this got distributed through a small publisher that no longer exists, and I called a lot of shops, so it might be in your area.
Nice. Well, hey, that gives you an excuse to go check out a shop, and if they don't have it, buy something else. Don't be a cheap little prick. This is my thought. You know, support your local comic shop. Don't be a cheap little prick. Blake's Buzz, quote unquote.
Currently on Kickstarter, campaign is ending on the 20th, so sorry, it's too late for your daddy's birthday, but I think you would still like it.
I'll tell him to check it out. No, dude, it's so good. It's so I recently watched, there was a haunted house movie, The Presence, right, that like follows the entity, it's like a experimental voyeuristic horror show, and you're following the entity as it watches the family, and it's real trippy, and it makes for some really intriguing scenes. But I was very, very excited about it, right? And it paid off. Like it was like cool. Like this is new and it's fresh, and it's I love haunted house movies, and it even had like a found footage element just because of the way it was shot. But anyway, like I got those vibes like reading this. It was just like it made me feel, like I said, it made me feel a lot. It hit me with like emotions that I didn't want to think about, like missing people I don't want to miss. like thinking about me thinking about the people who used to live in my house, right? I never lived with a woman or a guy or anything, but just like whatever.
Can I use the quote, "It made me feel emotions I didn't want to feel"?
Yeah.
All right, that'll go on the back cover.
Anything I say on this show is incriminating evidence, so yeah. Feel free to use it for me or against me. You're a messed up little man. But yeah, it reminded me of that. And if y'all like horror movies, I really recommend Presence. It's really cool, and has a great twist too. But you know what I'm saying? That movie was hard to make. Like that movie got pitched and shopped around, and it didn't have a huge release. And and I guarantee you, a lot of big studios were like, this isn't what people want in a haunted house movie or story. Did you ever have moments of that when you were making this where you were like, I know what my vision is. Is this what people want and in a horror story? And like, or did you have to like fight those thoughts and push them away, or were you like just firing through it like bam?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Thanks. I used to do this every now and
then. Yeah, I do think like when I say it's a horror book, people kind of jump to like slashers or demons, and it is not that. It's kind of just more like a personal horror, like the worst dark thoughts you can have about yourself, and that's a kind of horror, but maybe not what you expect when you see the title.
Okay. The title is almost funny to me. It's like kind of tongue in cheek because it's just it's so blatant, like because like when the tone and the story and the lyrical dialogue or exposition. Well, no, it's dialogue because they can hear it sometimes, right? Mm-hmm. But like it's poetic sometimes, right? And this title is just matter of fact, no taking it any other way, no ambiguity. It's very like Something is Killing the Children, right? Which I guess like everybody wants to make a book like Something is Killing, or at least wants to sell it like that. But was that like, were you kind of like looking at titles with that kind of blatancy and that like, because it's an odd title for this book. They fit while simultaneously not seeming to fit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I just wanted a title that instantly told you what the book was. Like, no ambiguity, no metaphor, just blam blam.
Yeah.
And
like, what is Terraquill anyway? Like, God damn it. I'm just kidding.
Only I know.
Well, it works, man. It really does. And what's your like comfy at home genre? Because like I've seen a little bit of sci-fi from you. I've seen some fucking like real dope horror from you. Where's your comfort zone of storytelling, or do you have one?
I really like comedies, which it doesn't seem like it. I wrote this detective story called Gumshoe City, which was like kind of Looney Tunes style detective series, and I had so much fun just coming up with goofy cartoon mysteries. Like, it is so much more enjoyable for me to come up with dumb jokes that make me laugh, like a fish cannery called the Red Herring, and the fake suspect is working there. Like, I love that, and then I got to come up with poetry and have emotions. That's so much harder.
Well, I mean, you say that, but comedy is very hard in comics. I mean, comedy writing in prose and video and in motion, right? You get the physical, you get the physicality of it. You get that a little bit in comics, but yeah, it's just like, but there's big timing's a big deal in jokes and comics too. It's hard to pull off, like a lot of page turn, panel progression. A lot of thought goes into being funny in comics that I don't think a lot of people realize. So I mean, yeah, if you can be funny on the page, I feel like you can be, if you can be funny, you can be sexy, you can be scary, you can be intense, you can be you can spread it all out like a nice peanut butter over a piece of bread. I was gonna say something gross, and I didn't. I didn't.
You're
I didn't.
trying to get back that global comic sponsor.
I know. I was like, no, we're growing and learning here at Blake's Buzz. Yeah. When we kick over the half the entertainment center and knock over the lights and everything, we got to be careful where we put the peanut butter after that. The vibes are weird now. But yeah, all of you guys have really cool projects, and all of you guys have. I think you're all very indie in different ways, right? And you're also like very indie in that you have really, really cool books that don't seem super indie, right? That you have power behind these titles, and you have good art, you have good storytelling, and you have good teams behind them, and so I think this is a good like sampling for people to see, like, indie comics is hard. Comics is hard. It's a hard industry, and making them is hard, but it's definitely not impossible, and all you guys are, some of you are trying to be impossible with it, right? Like Winston's doing weird shit. Shawn's doing crazy split one shots now, and and it's just, you guys kind of you're switching up the format. Chad's just stumbling into everybody's IP, accumulating them like Pokemon, man, and we're just gonna see what happens, and it's exciting, and I think indie needs that kind of excitement right now, because it's not. It's funny, because I got in trouble at my old job for like my doom and gloom internet personality, right? And it's kind of doom and it is a little doom and gloom in comics right now, right? Because it's like every day, like some Diamond owes somebody like $1 million, and like now these babies can't eat, and it's like, whoa, what? And it's like, fuck, like we got to save the Dynamite babies or they're gonna starve. I don't know. I'm bad at news,
Save
right?
The Dynamite babies.
Save the Dynamite bear. But they can't. Like the story is they can't make payroll next week, right? And they're owed all this money, and it's just I feel like every day the news is just trying to be like, stay the fuck out of comics, right? Like who would want to dip their toes in this fucking acid water, right? And it's like, we do. We're fucking weird. Like let's dip our, let's bathe in the shit. But
For the record, I would look right at it. Them and be like, who wants to do it? I'm like, I mean, truthfully, I don't, but I'm doing it anyway. Like, here I am. I haven't stopped. So.
It is a weird. I haven't experienced this. I guess podcasting a little bit, because even when I fell off, I started to miss it, and I started to miss it bad, right? But I've heard comics is kind of similar. Like you get into it, and I mean, like I got fired, and like I was like, do I go work in insurance with my buddies, and now I'm like, I'm trying to stay in the industry, and it's a struggle to do that, right? And so it's weird how you get addicted to this weird place, right? Because I help people make comics, but I don't really. I mean, I've got a couple writer credits, but whatever, and some editing shit. But it's just it's addicting. You get a little taste of it, and you can't stop. And you see a page that you wrote turned into something that an artist made, and it blows your fucking eyeballs in the back of your head, and or Shawn, like, you draw these crazy beautiful art, and then IDW is like, you want to like draw some turtles and shit, and it's you get to like do the shit that so many people don't get to do, and yeah, like when someone wants to try and like take it away from us, it's hard. And so yeah, when people say it's addicting, it really is. And it's not the collectability, it's not comic collecting, it's not even comic reading, it's this other, it's when it becomes a part of your life, and when it's like intrinsically tied into your income and everydayness, and that sounds very unhealthy, but like there's just something about it, right? Like none of you can stop.
It's that old saying, if you bet on yourself, you'll never lose. And like I do agree with that, where if I take a stab at something and it does, like, I fail at it, I still feel like, well, at least I tried it under my own terms, and like at least I I failed because of something I did and it wasn't somebody else's responsibility. That's when it feels fine to fail. When you've kind of bet on yourself and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna, yeah, just give it my best. And if that's not good enough, then like, it doesn't matter because I tried, I went for it. I would still like to succeed, but
Worst case scenario, it blows up in your face.
exactly.
It's all on you.
Yeah.
That's what, like, when I started this whole publishing thing, I'm like, guys, listen, this might all just blow up. I'm gonna tell you right now, if everything blows up, I'm not gonna fight for the contracts. You guys can just go. Like, I'm not gonna.
Speaking of blowing up, the chat is blowing up right now. But after I unplugged everything, it's not coming through on Riverside.
Oh no.
But we got hold on, Cheryl Ray Tuttle's in the house. Thanks for tuning in. John Westhoff of Part Time Comics is hanging out.
Oh, gross.
Worthy Chaos Comics is in the house. What's up, guys? Ignacio DeMeglio's in the house. What's up? I'm so sorry, everybody. I broke it. I broke the live stream again. I'll send a heart. I sent a heart. Anyway, God, I love Riverside. Actually, no, I think this was all my fault. But to be fair, though, I feel like when I plugged everything back in, it should have. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I wish I was, though. I'd probably make more money.
Geologist.
What is something, as I've mentioned, like, trying to move past the doom and gloom of being indie right now. In the importance of, like, sticking to your guns, believing in yourself and all that. What is something that has been specifically trying for you guys? Like, social media is different now. Like, everybody's going back to, like, newsletters and stuff. Digital storefronts are continuously changing and popping up. Where do we sell our digital comics is a new question that not a lot of people have answers to. As we talked about earlier, we got a couple answers here on the show, and all of them have some pluses and minuses, right? What is some things that you guys have been struggling recently, that maybe, like, oh, if I would have known this a month ago, or if I would have had this ready, when I started, that maybe, like, someone that's watching, trying to get into this life, maybe, just some spill the saw. I need some fucking good shit for my metrics, guys. All right, now, but Chad, like, you're doing a lot right now. What's something, like, even if it's like an app that helps you organize shit or something, like, what's something you wish you would have known, like, maybe a few months ago that would have helped the feet get on the ground running easier?
It's actually a good question. Truthfully, there's not really I can't really think of any particular app or anything, but what I can say is I can give you advice to slow the fuck down. Like, it is very, very easy, especially when it comes to publishing, when it comes to writing and everything, that where you're going to get very excited with everything that's happening, and people are going to come to you and be like, hey, I want you to look at my book. I want you to read this book. Can I publish this book? I want to do this, that. And you're going to be like, oh, hell yeah, let's do it. And then you realize by the time you get really into it, you got way too much stuff on your plate. So I think my biggest advice is do not be afraid to go slow. Do not be afraid to take your time. Yeah, it is not a race. It is not the world's not going to blow up. I mean, it might, but I mean, and I hope so. But
it doesn't matter if you have a finished comic by then or not.
Right, exactly. You know what? If your comic survives, historians all over the world could be like, by God, this is incomplete. Let's find the missing pages, and then you become this ancient legend of conspiracies. So there's a positivity in that. But yeah, like, just take your time with everything. I think that's my biggest advice when it's somebody starting, or if you're just starting the comics, or you're thinking about it. Like, none of this shit's a race, and I cannot hammer that in enough to people.
That's such good advice. Yeah, that's really good, especially just because the social climate tells you otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, you're always being bombarded with, like, you gotta be posting this every day, and you have to be on all of these 7 platforms, and you need this. Yeah. It's just you're right, totally. Just slow down.
No, I don't deal with any of that. I post when I feel like it.
Yeah.
I'll post when I feel like it. I'll share funny stuff. I advertise stuff when I feel like it. So it's
beautiful.
Yeah, It's just whatever.
Fuck you, Chad Perkins. My social media life is run by a stupid schedule and I hate it. Like every day, like my reels go live on Meta at 9, on TikTok at 11, or at TikTok at 10:55, YouTube at noon. And I set all this up like the night before or the morning of, right? So it's not like I schedule it all, but it's just like I'm really trying. Like I really am trying to do the show better this time. I'm trying to be better at doing my emails, and I'm trying to be better at like, reminding people that the show happened and that a new one's happening next week, and really trying to stick to this Wednesday at 9 thing, and every week do a Substack post on Tuesdays, and it's just. Why it's a lot. It's not a lot though too. Like when you look, because it's like it's shit that I do a lot, but like I got hired to edit a podcast and I had to drop that yesterday, and so like I didn't get the intro until like 10:30, and so I was like I had everything ready. I just had to like put that in, export the audio, upload everything, do all that, and so then like I did all that, and I was like, oh cool, I got it done, and then I was like, oh fuck, I gotta do my show now. I have to like do all my promo, and so you get kind of bogged down, and so some of these like social media tasks, like they don't seem everything kind of it does start to add up, and I do agree like slowing down helps. And I mean, I think everybody watched me burn out. Like I tried to do everything for a hot minute, and that fucked up. So, I agree. I agree with you, Chad. Even though, like, simultaneously, I'm not listening.
I mean, that's fine. You can do whatever you want when it comes to social media and everything. Just don't kill yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And
like,
and with a publisher too, right? Like, find new talent, make these books, try and get these stories out there, but don't kill yourself. If you need a break, take one. Like, and if you're working for people who tell you that you don't need a break, or that what's going on in your brain doesn't matter, run. Yeah. Like, run. Like, I cannot tell you how serious I am right now. Like, that happened, and it was bad. Yeah. So, anyway. Slow down and breathe. Yeah, transparency, being able to breathe, not hating yourself. Because it sucks. Like when you run out, it's weird, man. Like you run out of energy, and you're instantly your own worst enemy. Like you're like everybody sucks, but wow, I suck the worst. How did that happen? So it's just, that's really good advice, dude. And again, like you seem to, I don't know, like you're with a good group of people and good stories. I'm excited to see what you guys do. So look, you're dropping good advice on live streams and shit, showing up the host, goddamn. Shawn, what about you, man? You do kind of, you do some different stuff, and your art goes through like some different mediums and stuff. But like, what's something you wish you would have learned or hammered out earlier?
Kind of to build off of what you just said, Chad, is like learning not to care about that stuff. I think it's really important not to, like if you post something about, a book you're working on, and it gets 4 likes, like just don't care. Because like it's going to happen probably, well, not even probably, absolutely more times than it doesn't.
And sometimes you'll just get 1 like.
Exactly. Sometimes
like,
nothing.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get shit. Sometimes you
like,
spend a while in Canva. I use Canva because I'm an invalid, but like I don't do Photoshop. But sometimes you make a graphic and you do all that shit and you post it and nothing. Nothing. Damn.
But it's designed to work like that now. It's changed so much in the past probably 2 to 3 years. That you're just not supposed to get seen by people unless you're doing very specific things like sowing Discord or yes, totally, big time, that's what people want.
That's my next thing.
Every time I post
you're gonna make so much money.
Every time I post some comic art, I throw some misinformation underneath. Usually shoots it right up.
There you go.
That's it. I've heard people do that.
Really?
Like that, or they'll also post just like random facts about like the Kia Optima or something in there.
Oh, I have seen that.
It's like they'll post just a bunch of random stuff into it.
Right, and this is why you can't feel bad. Like you have to like be cool with knowing that this is designed to work against you, unless you're selling Kia Optimas and or just being angry. So yeah, don't feel bad about that.
Yeah, I've told people to, just to comment on that, is like, look, you're gonna see all of this drama and I've said this with the people who sign on with me, I don't do drama. I don't deal with it. I don't want this whole, if I see somebody fighting with somebody, I'm not going to get involved. Like,
Right.
just do not get involved.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just do not care. Again, like Shawn said, don't care
Don't care.
about it.
Yeah.
You're not
and
the
that's
problem.
hard to do. That's hard to
Yes.
do. Like,
It
you have to
is.
learn
It's-
how to do that.
It was, and like some of us like grew up on the internet and got popular. You know, like I think I used to every fucking Comicsgate thing. I used to like puff my chest and fucking show my feathers, right, and mouth off and fight that fight, and it used to, and then like even if you got like troll bombed or like attacked for a week, you like wore that as some badge of armor, and it's just like, why the fuck am I stressing myself out to like yell at some dude with like 60,000 followers, which that ain't shit, right? And so like me with a couple thousand definitely ain't shit. And like sometimes I feel the same way with like politics, because it's just like we're all, I know we kind of need to get freaked out, but it's like sometimes you fall into the news and you can't get out of it. We had a comment on the show like a couple weeks ago, and someone was like, if it doesn't go viral or it doesn't get seen, is it worth doing? And we all were like, yeah, like it's real, like it's you're gonna, if you try and repress that and don't tell the story, your body's gonna push it out one way or another. Like that's how it works for a lot of people. And so like, if you're a storyteller, you're gonna have to tell that story one way or another. Drunk at a bar to people who don't want to listen, or on a page. My camera's about to die. It's fine.
About a house that falls in love.
But yeah, it's you gotta not worry about that stuff. And life does get better when you don't. It's just it's hard. It's hard to slow down when everything seems to be rushing you, and it's hard to like shut your ears and eyes off when everything's like screaming in your face.
Yep.
Yep.
What about you, Winston? How do you combat the terror of everydayness in publishing?
Well, am I saying for myself, or am I giving advice to people starting?
I'm a little both. Mix it up.
Well, yeah, jumping off, not only take your time, but also start small. Your giant 400-page epic. Wait till you've got a couple minis under. Like, I literally started just by doing 5-page stories. And then if you can start tabling probably sooner than you think. Your local library might have a convention. Art shows so good, and they're way cheaper than your biggest convention. And then the biggest thing I wish I knew at conventionings is a gimmick, because no one will come to your table if your name isn't Frank Miller or Tom King. And so my gimmick, for instance, is I will draw someone's favorite superhero on my business card. I will say, you want a free drawing? They come over and I can knock out a Batman or a Spider-Man in 30 seconds. And that gives me time to throw an elevator pitch at them. Doesn't always work, but people are at my table. And so I just say some kind of gimmick, like a freebie or a sign that says, let me tell you about my comic.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, that having a gimmick is always, I feel like, something that a lot of people don't consider. Like the gimmick that we've started with, it was Chris Albright's idea, is a free comic library at your table. So basically, it's any of like the misprints that you can't sell, or anything like, your comics that you're not really attached to, that you have lying around, graphic novels, whatever, and you just put them in this library and people come to your table, look through it, and that gives you kind of time to talk to them about your books. But it also gets you, those books that are just laying around that you can't really sell. It gets, those out into the world too. So, and actually, Tom Hutchinson at Motor City Comic Con, like every day that week, and he would just drop off books that he really couldn't sell or wasn't selling anymore, and he just dropped them in there too. So it was nice. And it turned out really well. So I think that's going to be kind of one of our bigger gimmicks going forward. So.
That's a good one.
That's
Hey.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
People like free stuff.
They do.
Oh yeah.
And also, my business card's a coaster.
Look at that. People are less likely to throw it out.
My business card is a coaster with a QR code on the
I
back.
like that.
Excellent. Perfect.
These
Cool.
these are absolutely amazing, because people are like, "Do you have a business card?" I'm like, "I have a coaster." That's a business card. Because then they won't throw it away, because everybody could use a coaster.
Yeah.
So
Nice. we were we before I got fired because I was supposed to be going to SDCC this month, and like which sucks, but whatever. Anyway, we were doing like on the ground marketing, right? And like we were gonna do the zine, like, and it's you like cut the middle of the paper and fold it so it's like 3 pages and then it folds out into a cover. And we were gonna do this like zine to like show the mascot and like I don't know, like so it was it was like this underground marketing idea and it was kind of cool and we were working on it. But it was the same way. It was like, what's cool that we could like give out on the floor, and then like trying to think of something like cheap enough to print, that cool enough that people aren't going to want to throw away, right? So yeah, would have been it was interesting to think about. But yeah, this notion of gimmicks is very real. Like even if it's a QR code to someone scans and like signs up for your new Kickstarter campaign. The only thing I've heard is don't give out stickers. I heard cons don't like stickers, and if they see like a bunch of your stickers that get thrown on the ground or whatever after, they'll be like, "Fuck this guy." So that's just what I've heard from like attendee or not attendees, like the volunteers, that they're just like everybody hates. But every booth I've been to at a con has a shit ton of stickers.
Everybody takes some though. Like,
yeah.
That's
so like, why would you? Yeah, it is weird. Like, why would you take them just to be like, you throw it on the ground like later?
Right.
Don't be that prick. Keep your stickers.
Right.
You never know when you're going to need a sticker, you know?
Right. Exactly.
Or a coaster.
Right.
Especially
Also, just another thing to Winston's point as well is tabling. Like, you don't need to go out to these giant cons, and I think a lot of people don't really realize that when they first start. Because the smallest con I do is Motor City Nightmares, and I do really well there. And it's a big con, but it is like it's very tiny in its structure and everything. But any of like those art festivals, yeah, they fill up, but when you get in, you do very well, and they're very homey and very personal, and a lot of people look for, they're not there for Frank Miller, they're not there for whoever else. They are there for the little guy. Like, they know what they're looking for. So and that's what I'm gonna start doing next year, is looking for more of those little shows. But they fill up so quickly, and they open tables like a week before the show. So I'm like, or maybe I genuinely don't know. I usually find out about them a week before that. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know this was coming up. So.
Speaking of, like, I guess this would be a good part to go around. I want everybody to, I know I've kept you a while tonight, and I've destructed my set. My camera's dead, and I've ruined everything yet again. Winston, I failed you. I failed you twice.
We'll get it the third time.
Let's go around. Mailing lists, website, social media, shops, anything you guys want to shout out. Like I said, the Kickstarter and campaign links, and Chad, I got the Rolling Squid Bones website linked in the description so they can go to the website. But let's let everybody know like where to find you, and if you guys are going to be at cons or doing any signings or appearances, like shout them out. Winston, you got anything coming up, or where do we keep track of you?
Yeah, next month I'll be at Fan Expo Chicago. I do C2E2 every year. I got my Kickstarter I've been talking about, and I'm at Winston Gambro and everything. Oh, and I have a webtoon called Safe Place to Live. That's a dystopian American nightmare.
Oh yeah, on webtoons, or do you go to okay? Or do you said you mentioned Chicago C2E2? Do you, because I know you know John? Do you live in Chicago too?
Outside of it, but yeah.
Okay. I didn't know you were a Midwestern weirdo like me.
Oh yeah,
cool.
Chi-Town represents.
Oh yeah. Shawn, what about you? Where do we keep track of you? And you got any appearances or cool stuff coming up? We can come find you.
I post a lot of artwork on Instagram. That's usually like where I post the bulk of just desk shots and stuff while I'm working on comics. I stream on Twitch usually once a week, where I just like ink pages and kind of hang out and field questions and talk about video games and weird stuff. And I have a free Substack, which is usually the only way I'll communicate with with people online about what's going on kind of month to month. I just don't like blasting out a huge number of posts, so it's nice to just kind of do one big one a month. And it's like, hey, here's what's going on. Here's where you can find the latest stuff. And then yeah, new Terraquill stuff. It's Kickstarter on July 18th. The pre-launch page is up right now, and yeah, I'm pumped about it. It's been a while since I've run a Kickstarter. I think it's been 2 years. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad to
knew
be
it had
back.
been a hot minute. And then even a little longer with you by yourself, or was that
Yeah, no, by myself. Actually, by myself, I think it was 2021. Yeah,
okay?
or 2022, something around there. And
Okay.
then with Easton for Samurai Grandpa, we did I think 2 years ago. But yeah, it's been a while since just kind of running a campaign by myself. And this one's small. It's I think the smallest one I've ever done. But I'm excited about that. I want to test out some new waters and yeah, see how it goes.
Oh yeah, man. I think one of the best things about a campaign is to be excited going into it. I think a lot of people are terrified or have no idea what to do, and that kind of
I think
that
you
stress
can.
can kind of ruin it for you in a way, you know. And it's
Yeah,
you got
totally.
to
You
keep the
can be all of
vibes.
those things. You can be terrified and have no idea what you're doing and have a great time somehow with Kickstarters. Uh, it's totally
That
possible.
is true. Kickstarter's it's a weird place
It's
to
a
do all
weird
that.
thing, man. Yeah, you're gonna feel so many emotions running a Kickstarter. You're gonna feel like a success. You're gonna feel like a failure all at the same time. It won't make any sense, but there's something like we were talking about, like kind of addictive about that.
Yeah.
About that, it's a weird thing, but
It's a
yeah,
cool community too. Like a part of it,
awesome
part of the
people.
best, the best part of Kickstarter is the community. The bummer about that is Kickstarter's getting so much bigger. We don't know the community isn't as tight as it used to be because there's so many new voices, right? It's
That's
hard to keep
okay.
track
I
of everybody. And
I
no,
think that's a
it's a
good
good
thing.
problem, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing. Kickstarter's becoming more and more like its own social network, in a better way than social networks is social networks right now.
Yeah.
Maybe closer to a Discord server is probably a better way to put it. There are all of these wonderful little communities that have popped up on Kickstarter that are just very engaged and excited about certain genres of books, and it's super cool to see. I love it.
Awesome. And Chad, what
Yeah,
about you, man? What's coming up from Rolling Squid Bones and best place to keep track of you guys?
So you can actually check out our Facebook page. It's just Rolling Squid Bones, where you can look at all of our updates and dumb memes that we post that promotes our books. You can also follow me on Bluesky at Casual and our Chad and Rolling Squid Bones or RSB Comics all across the board with those ones. With Twitter, which I don't really use anymore. And I do have a Substack called the Comic Book Brews. I need to go back to update that, but I'm just one guy. So, but as for Rolling Squid Bones, I have 2 one-shots coming out from Sean Megan. So stay tuned for that. And then I got 2 other projects from Gerald von Stoddard as well. So that's going to be cool. And then one other one from David Doob. So they're giving me other stuff from them to play with. And I told them, look, I don't know what I'm doing, and maybe that's a good thing because I feel like if I admit I know what I'm doing, I'm lying. And I feel like that's a very good thing to say in comics. Because I am under the impression if you say I know I know what I'm doing, you are lying.
Yeah.
Because none of us ever know.
Well, and even
No.
even when you knew like some of the stuff I knew how to do a couple years ago doesn't work anymore. You know, I
Right.
can't. I was making a little bit of money like posting graphics for people every day, hyping Kickstarters, and we would get people and like you could post a graphic and people would click on a goddamn link. And now like if now you got to like hide the link and hope people are
Yep.
smart enough to find it. They're not.
Yep.
It's they're not.
No.
Well, it's not even that they're not smart. It's just they don't know.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, they don't get it.
the algorithms are consistently changing. So it's like now you got to put in hashtags and like all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But then I've
The
also heard
shorter-
hashtags are bad.
Yeah, I've heard hashtags are
Yeah.
dead. Now everything needs like SEO, like even YouTube shorts and TikTok shorts. They're fucking doing SEO for that. Like
or
it's
emojis,
stupid.
and it's just
It's all dumb.
oh my god.
Chad,
I
have
wish
a
I was
quick question
talented.
for
I would
you.
just get on Twitch and draw.
Well, now I gotta say, I can't always do hashtag Celine Dion in all of our Rolling Squid Bones.
You can.
I do, and I do for
Yeah.
no reason.
Good.
So-
Good.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I mean
What a
branding's
good brand.
branding and tenacity is important. So
Worst case scenario, she goes, "What the fuck is this?"
Right, yeah. And then Celine Dion's talking about
Right.
RSB. Yeah. Quick question for you. If an indie
Yeah.
creator wanted to get involved, with RSB, do they just reach out to you?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Cool.
just reach right out to me and say, "Hey, I want to know what you're offering," and I'll be like, "Okay."
That's a great conversation.
Yeah, right. Well, and I know. I'm pretty sure. Like I've talked to Winston before, and John was probably told you. I'm very, very, very easy to talk to, like, and very laid and laid back.
I feel like you have to be in this business, or you're
You
just
really
gonna.
do.
Yeah.
And John Westhoff sucks, by the way. Just wanna tell you. Like,
I'm
just
clipping the fuck out of that.
terrible person. Absolutely hate him.
Oh man,
Oh.
beginning of the feud. This will ignite indie comics.
Yeah, John Westhoff and I beefing for the 4 millionth time.
And it started on Blake's Buzz, like Mr. fucking Mr. Being what's the word? Positive. Like that's-
Actually, oh, and also next Wednesday, John and I are doing the Cosmos show because we do that every other Wednesday
Nice.
together, where we just hang out and talk about different topics. I think we're talking about metal music next week.
Ooh,
So
Nice.
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. We have a slot, so if anybody wants to come and join us,
What
we're
kind
on
of metal?
Any kind you want.
Interesting.
The good kind, like Ghost and Sleep Token.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah.
You guys are you guys into President?
I truthfully, I haven't even heard his music or their music.
Oh, dude, it's
been
so
listening.
manufactured. It's some famous European he's like an old emo dude. I can't think of his name. Like they already figured out who he is, but it's like the new mask band. He wears he wears his president mask, but dude, they're the Oh Father or In the Name of the Father is like their first single, but they played Download, and like they did this like
Yeah.
seven song set list, and it was fucking magical. And I need them to release this music. I have to listen to like shitty recordings. I'm like, my favorite song is like a cell phone recording of a song that they played at Download, but I'm like obsessed. Like they thought it was Sleep Token. They thought it was like one of the Sleep Token guys doing a side project because they were masking up and playing at the same festival. But yeah, they're pretty chill. And In the Name of the Father is a great single. I think it's a great single, but I'm really stoked. I think they're going to drop an EP and it's going to blow everybody's goddamn mind. But yeah, I've been listening to them a lot.
I've actually never listened to Sleep Token, so I wouldn't actually know.
Oh God. I can't talk anymore. What is it when you say something and don't mean it?
A lie?
Why?
No, it starts with an I. You're being
Ignorant?
well,
Indecisive?
yes, everybody who
Intelligent,
doesn't like Sleep
independent.
Token is ignorant.
I mean, apparently that's what the
Kind
fans
of.
said.
No, I know they're not. Well, I mean, music is divisive, but
Sure.
I very much know. Also, labeling. I know they're not really metal. They're like metal sometimes, but yeah, I don't know. Like I can see why they're divisive, and they're also wildly popular, and everybody's talking about them. So if you don't like them, you have to hear about them all the time.
Well, whatever.
Sure, yeah, they're more
They're
of
like
a mood.
Nickelback.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I'm listening to the new Sleep Theory album
Okay.
and Kill Switch Engage because they just dropped an album.
That's sweet.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
happy they're still making music.
I've seen them live twice, and holy shit, they're amazing live.
Good show? Oh, fuck.
Oh god,
That's
yeah,
cool.
great show.
Nice. I didn't know they had a new album.
Mhm.
I heard Korn was making a new album, and I'm kind of excited because they've
I
been.
love Corn. They're delicious.
Yeah. It's a big lump of nubs. Like,
I loved
But-
when they teamed up with Cream.
but I guess they everybody like all my shorts are just download clips, but I guess everybody I guess they're performing. I don't know, like they announced something like they're going into they're making new music and everybody's freaking out. Limp Bizkit's touring and like everybody's loving Limp Bizkit. I'm like, what is happening?
I mean,
It's like 1999 all over again, except I'm
gotta do it
fucking
for the
old
nookies.
still. Like,
Yeah, and Shrek's coming back.
Shrek is coming back.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah, Shrek.
Oh,
5.
Shrek 5. Okay, yeah, never
Just like
mind. I
'99.
thought you meant like the first movie. I'd be like, oh, good. I'm glad. I actually have Shrek the Funko Pop right there on my right there.
Cinema.
So, it's one of my favorite movies.
the turtles are coming back. You can go see the first TMNT
So is
movie
the
in
Cat
August
the Hat.
for the 35th anniversary. Dude, I'm geeked. I got my turtle shirt, my turtle hat. I dressed up for you motherfuckers tonight. I'm glad you noticed. You probably would have noticed more if I didn't accidentally kick one of my lights over and turn off the power in my house, but whatever.
Probably.
We're learning here at Blake's Buzz. Guys, I had a really fun time chatting with all of you, and I'm very, very stoked to see what you guys do in the future. I can't wait for more Terraquill or anything you do, Shawn. I'm always excited. And
Thank
Chad, like I said, man, I think you guys are doing some cool stuff. You're working with cool people. I'm excited to see what you guys come out and do. Winston, you're just too fucking good. I'm done talking to you. I can't deal with it anymore. Just stay in your closet. Quit making comics. I'm just kidding. It was for real. Your haunted house love story. I kind of needed that for real. Like I haven't read something that I've been reading a lot of prose, and I read good comics and I love comics. I read them a lot, and I just haven't felt something that kind of kicked me like that, like that kind of like reminded you of like the power of this medium. I don't want to sound like cheese dicky, but that's kind of, you got a powerful book, dude. And it's really good. And if you guys don't go back and on Kickstarter, you're stupid. You out there are stupid.
You're stupid.
You're not stupid. Maybe you're broke like me, because I'm poor, so I get it. But I really do encourage you to check out all these stories. Shawn, are you gonna have, when you go live, are you gonna have old Terraquill stuff to sell, or are you out all that shit?
Oh, that's sold out. I got the PDF. I'm gonna just do for $5.
Okay.
Like the full 120 page.
I sent him a picture earlier. I was like, look what I dug out.
Oh,
I was like, I've been there from the beginning.
That's wild. Yeah, that's kind of, I don't even.
When I used to get regular income, I could buy comics, like it was a lot easier to back Kickstarter campaigns. But no, like I've been a fan of yours for a long time, and this is special fantasy. So you guys need to follow that campaign. Check it out. Check out Winston's stuff. Make sure you follow Chad and his team of indie nerds, because they're gonna put some stuff out that's gonna melt the fuse in your brain, have it leak out your ear.
That's the
make
idea.
little wax candles. All right, I'm gonna keep rambling and probably knock something else over. So I'm gonna say again, sorry to the chat that I broke the comments. But thank you for hanging out. I know some of you are still commenting, and I appreciate you. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and giving me your time. I know you're all busy, and I really do appreciate you. Shawn and Winston, it was great to catch up with both of you, and Chad, it was good to, I swear to God, I've never interviewed you before.
I looked back, and maybe it was all just a hallucination.
I felt so bad, dude. I was whoa, I have forgotten interviews. I've been like, oh fuck, I forgot to send the link. I forgot this was, but I've for real, like, I've never been like, oh shit, I forgot you were on my show.
No, I was like, I looked back and I'm like, really? Have I not? Huh. Well, then I guess I was wrong.
It's not my fault. That's all that matters.
I mean, it is. Somehow it is your fault. So I just can't find out why just yet. So,
well, you're here now. That's all that matters. And you and your crew are welcome back anytime. So keep me posted on future projects. That goes for all you guys. Blake's Bow is always a home for you if you need a place to shout out your cool comics. On that note, I think some of you probably bought some books today. You should go read them, or unless you just like put them, bag and board them, and throw them in a corner like I do when I buy comics, because you get behind, and that read pile gets bigger and bigger. But anyway, I hope you got some cool stuff to read today. I hope you found some cool stuff to check out on our show. Follow these guys, follow the projects, be nice to each other. Remember, love more, hate less, read books. Don't be stupid. Don't be a bigot. Don't fucking be a Nazi either. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. I'm sorry. I know like politics, but
this
be nice
is a
to.
long tagline.
Be it right.
this is. I mean, I'm gonna type
hashtag
it all out.
But no, be nice to each other. I swear to God, it's not that hard. We'll be back next week. I got a couple awesome guests. Everybody's gearing up for SDCC. I hope everybody that gets to go out there has a good time. And I don't know, anything else, guys, before I set you free and send you off into the wilderness?
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for pulling me out of the woodwork.
Yeah, anytime, guys. Everybody, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.